Okay, for this section, we're going to go through the contract clauses. For this particular example, we're going to just talk a little bit about a hotel venue. You're going to use hotels a lot if you're a meeting planner and if you're working for a hotel. Your group has expressed sort of both sides. So at some point in your future, you'll probably be working with hotels. So I wanted to go through some clauses that are specific, more so specific to their guest rooms, but also a little bit about their meeting space. The information is slightly transferable. Certainly there's content about cancellation, guaranteed numbers, etc., etc. The area that I'm not covering in this video really is when you're contracting out a park or a venue. I'm thinking about you, Harley, with your music festivals. Certainly this video won't really apply that much because you're looking at a sort of an open area, open field, but I'm going to follow up with you and get some information for this specifically for you because it's a little different. So let's go forward and take a look. So what we're going to talk a little bit about too is not the way a contract perhaps is written, but the clauses that are included and why they're included. So just remember that different hotels and venues might label the clauses differently and word them differently, but there's certainly, you'll get the gist, if you will. So the first clause is often the guest room block and rate. A hotel, of course, sells guest rooms first, meeting space second. It's to support the sale of guest rooms. So we really need to know what room block and rate you're going to be committed to as a meeting planner. So the details will include the room types, the number of rooms being held, and the rate specifically for that group. The client has to commit to a purchase of the total rooms at a quoted rate so the hotel can count on the revenue. This comes into play when the cancellation or sliding scale comes in when any rooms are canceled. So at the onset, the contract will be for a specific number of rooms at specific rates, and that is what we want to count on. Comp guest rooms is a section. As you remember from the RFP, there was a section on concessions, what the meeting planner wanted in order to book the space. Comp rooms is often a big part of that. It's a negotiating tool used to gain business on both ends of the side. A meeting planner will use it to give business, saying, hey, give me comp rooms, and I'll give you my business. And of course, the hotels will saying, we'll give you this to get your business. Usually an industry norm is 1 per 50. And we talk a little bit, I'm not going to go through this too much, but it's usually on a non-cumulative basis. It can be. So, for example, it's per night. So if you had a group block of 75 rooms per night and you did a 1 per 50, you would get 3 comp rooms. But if it was 40 rooms per night, you'd get 0 comp rooms because you need to have 50 per night. It can be charged on a cumulative basis based on small groups, and that's up to the sales manager to negotiate as well as the meeting planner. It is based on the final group pickup. In other words, if 75 rooms per night are booked, but only 40 actually get picked up, the client will receive no comp rooms. It's actually what they use up at the end. This is an example of a clause in a contract for comp rooms. The Wannabe Hotel is pleased to offer 1 complimentary standard guest room for every 50 paid guest rooms picked up each night on a non-cumulative basis. And then it goes on to more. That's most important for you to remember. The cutoff and room release date section. This basically is when the meeting planner has to confirm the final numbers in order for them to save any money, in order for the hotel to release rooms for possible resale, etc. It is a way for the hotel to protect their revenue. In other words, the meeting planner has to confirm the rooms so they know exactly how many are coming in. And if for some reason the meeting planner is canceling rooms or the event is a wash or rooms are not being picked up, then the meeting planner has the opportunity to cancel it. To some degree, they'll probably have to pay for some rooms, but this gives the hotel the opportunity to resell rooms that are not picked up. So it's defined as the date by which a complete rooming list or all the individual room assignments or reservations are due. There's no bearing on the cancellation clause, which we'll cover in a minute. And it's typically 2 weeks to 1 month prior to the first date of arrival. So it's close to the arrival date that they have to take a look at. It allows the hotel a chance to sell any rooms The next clause is attrition. This is a word that you'll hear over and over again, so no one understand what attrition means. Basically, what it is it allows the hotel the opportunity to it allows the meeting planner the opportunity to reduce the number of rooms in their room block without penalty. It will allow the client to say, okay, I had 100 rooms booked. We're 6 months out. I don't think I need 100 rooms anymore. I want to just have 90 rooms held. And the attrition clause section will give the client basically the number of rooms that they can cancel without penalty. It allows, again, the hotel to say, okay, no problem. We'll try selling those rooms, and the meeting planner has the opportunity to cancel without penalty. So it works on both ends, but usually the meeting planner is given a scale of how many rooms they can cancel and when. It's to protect the hotel. The next step is the method of reservation or the payment. The hotel requires to know how the rooms are being paid because they are being paid often in different ways, and it also, the reservations. The reservations first. So there's a couple of different ways the hotel can receive reservations from a meeting planner. Sometimes it's often done by a rooming list. The meeting planner will give the hotel a list of names to fill into each individual reservation. As well, there's often with associations, the individuals will actually call in and reserve the room. This is common in the wedding block kind of area where you get your invitation and the bride says, we've reserved rooms at the local Holiday Inn. Please call and ask for this rate, yada, yada. And each individual can call in and book rooms and put their own credit card, etc. How it's being paid, there's basically 3 different ways. The individual will pay for everything on the room, including room tax and incidentals. This is your mini bar, your phone call kind of account. Or the room and taxes will be posted to the master account where the meeting planner ends up paying for it, but the incidentals will be to the individuals. Or all the charges, including incidentals, excuse me, are paid to the master account, so the meeting planner, the client, etc., is paying for everything. It's basically the 3 main ways things can get paid for rooms. Early delegate departure. This clause is so that the hotel can protect themselves if people decide to leave early. Let's say a meeting planner books a 3-day convention and everybody signs up for it, and after day 2 the convention sucks or people want to go home, etc., etc. This allows the hotel to charge anyone leaving early an early departure rate. This is done because sometimes on a 3-day conference, if people are leaving early, we won't get the rate. We can't. If they're checking out early, we can't necessarily charge them. So we're basically trying to charge a little bit to offset any risk of extreme revenue loss. It's also done commonly if you're booking 3 nights, get the 4th night free, or if it's a minimum 3-night stay over Caribana weekend, for example. It's all to protect the hotel from loss. If I called up the hotel and said, yeah, I want to stay Friday night, and there's a 3-night minimum because of Caribana is in or something, people book the 3 nights and they put their credit card on, but they come and they stay Friday night and then they check out early on Saturday, or they check out Saturday, and all of a sudden we've got a loss of revenue. We can't resell the room. So we have an early departure fee that we try to negate that for them. Billing and credit card arrangements are listed in a contract as well. It basically confirms the payment for all services in writing. Sometimes the client needs to have a credit application filled out. Also, should a client want a total bill at the end of the event, then they have to have everything on that total bill. So accounting needs to know that the client can pay, so we have a credit application. It's like going to the bank and applying for a credit card. The bank is going to ask you to fill in a credit application to make sure you have enough funds in your bank accounts, etc., to be able to pay off your visa every month. It also confirms the payment of the guest rooms, etc., etc. It eliminates confusion at the front desk upon check-in. Function room requirements. It outlines what meeting space the hotel is holding for the group. If you remember from the proposal, I'm going to go through an example contract, but this is that's listed as well. It includes the specific rooms, for example, and the room rental rates and times, and again, defined in specific detail so the client and the hotel are on the same page to avoid major issues and revenue loss. Here's an example cancellation clause. Cancellation is extremely important. Once a hotel has received a signed confirmation with regards to this contract, the following charges would apply should you decide to cancel the arrangements made with us. The charges can be reduced or eliminated should the space reserved on your behalf be resold. The cancellation fee is due at the time of cancellation. So here you have sort of what we call a sliding scale cancellation. So here's your notification of cancellation. If you cancel, for example, 6 to 12 months prior to arrival, you will pay 50% of your estimated guest room, F&B, and meeting room rental. It's basically your cancellation charges, and it is laid out in the contract to protect loss. It's one of the most important clauses in the contract. Often a group can cancel so close to the arrival that it's nearly impossible to resell the rooms and space. So it's to guarantee unrecoverable losses, not to generate extra revenue for the hotel. Indemnity is basically your acts of God. It basically is a clause that says if there's an act of God, a natural disaster, terrorism, etc., or anything that happens to a group attendees for equipment, supplies, that the hotel cannot be sued because they did not deliver on the services. It's basically a very legal contract clause. The acceptance date is a date in which the client has to sign the contract and send it back. It's 2 weeks usually within issuing of the contract. We want that contract back as soon as possible so we can confirm the space. It ensures that the hotel does not hold rooms and space for an extended period of time because it can turn down other business. So it's important for the client and the hotel to get that contract signed back right away so that basically that the space can be then held. And that's it for that section of contract clauses. So exciting. Thanks. We'll move on to the next now.